Hey guys, welcome to Bar Exam. I'm your host, Allie Rayner, and as always, I'm here with the Bar Exam crew, Mr. Marcus TV and Eric G. Say hi, guys.
What's up, y'all?
What up? What up?
Okay, so I hope everybody had a really good week. I hope you guys are ready for this episode because we have something special in store for you guys. So normally we like to pick different songs that we want to highlight on Bar Exam. And today, coming before the bar, we're going to be highlighting non-rap songs by rappers. So basically, we're looking for bangers, some hits, maybe even like pop hits that we didn't expect some of our favorite rappers to be the ones who produced or made. So the first of the first, me and my crew, we decided to pick a few, each of us. So I'm going to start it off. I decided to pick Hotline Bling by Drake. I like this song a lot because it's definitely pop, but it's also fun. And I think it had like that little kind of like that Spanish kind of flavor, that style. And it was fun because it was coming from Drake. It was different. It was fun to dance to. And it seemed like everyone and their mom knew the fucking song. So that's why I picked Hotline Bling. Do you guys agree, Marcus and Eric? Do you guys agree that that's probably a pretty big banger, but it's not exactly a rap song?
I feel
Yeah,
that
I
way
would agree.
about everything with Drake.
Hmm?
I feel that way everything with Drake.
Really?
That Drake, because Drake is one of the artists that can, this is what, just kind of like Kanye, he can go into different genres and dip and dabble, and it's like this, but it's not like this. But that's Drake as an artist.
Mm-hmm.
But Hotline Bling, to your point, is what you just said. It's a banger. It's not considered a rap banger, but it's a banger. You
Yeah.
can't even say if Drake is a singer or a rapper.
Yeah, honestly, I go between it all the time, whether or not he's a R&B nigga, like he even said it
Yeah,
himself, or if is he a rapper? And I think he has like found this lane for himself where he's basically, kind of straddling both ends, and he does it very well. Eric, what do you think?
Um, I think Drake's the perfect hybrid of the two. We've seen a lot of artists come through and try to emulate both sides, but I think he has narrowed the gap on what it means to be a good rapper and be a good singer. I just don't think anybody that's that has studied under that class is doing it better than he is. And we'll talk about that more with the song that I'm going to talk about later. But it's going to show that like no one's doing it better than this guy right now. And it's even from the songs like Hotline Bling. A lot of songs that come out from Drake, we assume are going to be corny and we assume aren't going to catch, and then they end up becoming number one smashes. So I just think he's proven it time and time again, and I think that song is just another good representation of that.
Yeah, I think that you're totally right. That time and time again, he's gonna bring like his own style, his own flow, or sometimes even kind of like steal other people's, but make it his own. And so I think you're right that that makes Drake such a great artist in general. Just to take a look at the lyrics, because that's what we do here. We love to zone in on the lyrics and focus in. Yeah, like I feel like more and more when you look at the lyrics, you realize that it's really a pop song. Like when I first heard this song. Did anybody else remember Drum had also dropped a song around this time? What was the name of it? Do you guys remember?
I know what you're talking
Cha
about.
Cha, right?
Uh,
I like to cha cha.
yeah.
In LA.
I want to say
I
that
think it
wasn't the
was
name
that
of the
one, right?
song. I want to say Cha Cha was the name of the song, but I don't want to be wrong either.
I think that's correct. So yeah, so basically it kind of gave that vibe, and then a big reason that it did was because the lyrics go, used to call me on my cell phone, late night when you need my love, call me on my cell phone, late night when you need my love, and I know when the hotline bling, that can only mean one thing. And like he keeps doing that part over and over again. I think especially that hotline bling, that can only mean one thing. I feel like that really matched that vibe of the song by Drum. And it like even like the description of the song where like it kind of seems like he's talking about a chick, about some love that basically, he misses her calling him and hitting him up, and now she's a different kind of chick. And I mean, there's some iconic lines from here, like ever since I left the city, you got a reputation for yourself now. Everybody knows I feel left out. Girl, you got me down, you got me stressed out. Cause ever since I left the city, you. So like, I feel like it definitely has, some good bones. I feel like the lyrics are good, they're fun. But I don't think in this he really dropped any like, like crazy. I don't know. Like it was more about like the style and the vibe of the song rather than like bringing crazy bars like he would normally do in like a different song. Like with 21 Savage, I feel like he's worried more about the bars and bringing like hooks in and stuff. What do you guys think?
I think he gave bitches who was hurt an anthem. He gave hurt bitches an anthem. That's what Drake did that year. Like when,
Yeah.
like, how many hurt bitches was walking around here like, when my hotline blinked, like, yeah, bitch,
Yeah.
because and then Drake spoke directly to you, and then you was in the club like, I'm going out more, I'm wearing less, it's my birthday, and it's not your birthday. Like,
is that what you be doing, Marcus? I'm going out.
you know that's the first, like, so your girl call you, right?
Wearing less, going out more.
Your girl, you like, oh my god,
Him and
this
the boys.
nigga stressed me out. He just left, and you, what's the first? Bitch, we going
gotta go
out.
Gotta go out, get you a new one, get you that outfit on.
See?
Yeah, you're right. You're right. And I feel like Drake has this great ability of making like his fan base feel like he's talking about them, like, or he could possibly, you know what I mean? It's like he definitely plays a pretty boy role very, very well, and I feel like this song highlights it. Like he's Uvo, October's very own. Like one of the first songs on that was. Huh?
The pretty boy role.
He does. Like one of the first songs he ever dropped was Best I Ever Had. And remember that from October's very own, he was like in the pea coat and he was like very light skinned. You know what I mean? Like he was given very much like pretty boy. I can say that, I'm light skinned. He was given a lot of light skin energy, okay?
Wow. Light skin energy.
Now look, if you look at his Instagram,
oh my god!
Look at them selfies. Tell me that's not light skin energy. And I feel like
I think he trolls a lot of the time though, because he plays into it. He knows that a lot of people clown on him for that. So
yeah,
that's one of the great things about him is that
money off of it.
Yeah, he can own that and just lean into it. He don't care.
Yeah. Okay, so enough with Hotline Bling and Drake. We spoke about that to death. Another person who's a bit more controversial is Kanye West, and I believe that this is Eric's choice. So Eric, why did you pick Kanye and what song did you pick?
Oh, don't worry, we're not talking controversial Kanye or anything. So we're going way back. We're going way back. But so I chose Kanye because this particular topic is something that I've debated with a lot of people time and time again, and it really goes into the whole album, but specifically on this song too. I picked Kanye Heartless from 808s and Heartbreaks. I think that rap became the sound that it is, that we had pretty much for the past 10 years because of this album and because of music that came out that was directly influenced by this album. To me, if this song doesn't come, you don't get the Kid Cudis of the world. You don't get the Travis Scotts of the world. You don't get the Futures of the world. You don't get the Young Thugs of the world. You don't get any of these people that we have come to claim as some of the GOATs of the past like couple of years. You don't get none of those people without this album. Even just the way from he raps on the song and just brings in his melody and brings in his style. That was the thing that Kanye did on this album that he showed other artists that you can do, is that you can still bring your style into what you're talking about and make it sound good over this auto-tune tool that we're using now. How could you be so cold as the winter when it breeze, yo? Just remember that you talking to me, though. You need to watch the way that you talking to me, yo. So Kanye West. It starts out like any Kanye love heartbreak song that would start out like that, but he's throwing the melody over it. And to me, it's songs like this and it's albums that came out like this that directly influenced a whole crop of artists to come out and not make music that directly sounds like this album, but they're gonna take their influence on what they took from it and run with it. Just another perfect example to me, an album that I go back to a lot is Lil Wayne's Rebirth album. I remember when that first came out, a lot of people shitted on that album, and I go online today and I see that the criticism for it has dramatically changed, and it's because a lot of the shit that we like now was a direct influence off of that shit, and a lot of people never gave it that credit. But just like that album, I'm giving the credit to 808s and Heartbreaks, and especially Heartless, because I mean, again, the influences, it's everywhere. You can look at some of your favorites and you can just pull a piece of what Kanye did from that project and apply it to what we hear today.
You know, I think it's interesting that you did pick this song, because I actually love this song too, and I love that he I feel like I love Kanye because he definitely puts a lot of himself into his songs, even if you don't realize it at the time. You know, he kind of talks about what he's going through. I think that this was like when he was going through the breakup with Amber and stuff, so this was definitely one of those songs that I felt like he really felt more than the other ones. And then, like you were saying, Eric, with it being on the 808s and Heartbreaks album, like that whole album was just so different, so unique, so new. And so I'm also like, I'm kind of on the fence though, because when you're like talking about the lyrics and stuff, I'm like, yeah, he's singing on this song, but he's rapping, like even just, you know, that first line that you said, like I remember, you know, listening to that and being like, damn, like, you know, he's really speaking from the heart. He's rapping bars and he's talking about something real to him. So I don't know if I can consider it like not a rap song. Like, why do you consider it a non-rap song?
So for me, it really comes down to the structure of the song, because if you look at the structure of this, it's one of Kanye's most pop rap songs he's ever done.
Okay.
Ever.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
So for me, like, I just look at the way he structures the chorus, because it's very, very reminiscent of songs like Gold Digger. But it has that R&B flow all throughout it. Like for me, I could hear Ty Dolla $ign do this whole song and I would not think it was a rap song.
Oh, okay. So
that's,
you think
that's how I look at it.
I thought you were considering it like more pop. So you're considering it more like R&B,
exactly,
and like kind of new and alternative, because it was definitely brand new. I felt like it was different for even when he dropped it. And so now I feel like it's hard for people to try and imitate this as well. Oh, and then I have another question for you, Eric, about this. So you were saying that like we can get a lot of influences, or some of our favorite artists like Travis, Kid Cudi probably were influenced by this, but we know that he's worked with both of those artists in the past. And I know there was like a rumor, I don't know if it was 100% true, but there was a rumor going around a couple years ago that Travis basically had helped him with a lot of songs behind the scenes as like a producer or something like that. I guess he helped him a lot with like Flashing Lights, for example. And so that's why I'm like, is it like a chicken and egg situation where we're like, I kind of wonder, like, did they help him with this album too? Or do you really think that it was only until after they heard this that they kind of got their sound some more, if that makes sense?
That's a good question. I'll keep it short though. I just think that when it comes to that crop of artists that get their influence from people like that, I think everyone kind of borrows from everybody a little bit.
Okay.
So for me, I look at Cudi helping Kanye with Flashing Lights, and I look at that as they're helping each other out. But in my mind, Kanye can't go and make Man on the Moon the album now. You know what I'm saying? Like Cudi can't go make a My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. You know what I'm saying? So they can help each other out and feed off of each other's energy, but I think ultimately it comes down to the artist and what they were able to pull off in those moments, because you don't get a lot of the creative solo moments that we get from a lot of these people if they aren't there to help each other out, if they aren't there to help lift the heavy loads a couple of times. So just because Cudi may have helped on Kanye on Flashing Lights, that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was actually Travis, but I think Cudi helped with Pablo, like My Life is Pablo or something like that. I think that was I can't remember the exact name of that album, but I think he helped with that one, and so did Drake or whatever. So that's why I brought it up, because I know that he's worked with those artists before. So that's why I'm kind of wondering, like, I wonder if, if they're imitating each other, or maybe they created this sound together. I don't know. Marcus, though, you seem like you wanted to.
Marcus looking a little like Marcus
Kanye's way too
over there.
Because Kanye's way too talented and way too crazy for me to believe that somebody else is responsible for a Kanye sound other than Kanye.
Well, I think that him like anybody else, I feel like is gonna have the money to have a lot of motherfuckers in the room to help out. Like Beyonce is not in the studio writing all those songs. She's got like a whole camp of like 20 writers. So that's why I'm kind of curious. Is like, I mean, Drake said it. He said that he helped him with the My Life is Pablo album, and he barely got any credit for it. I know Cudi helped him, and then for some reason they fell out after that. I don't know if him and Travis make music together anymore, but in the past, he did help him with a few different songs. So that's why I'm like, I think that Kanye is always going to make amazing music. He's always going to make something that's true to him, that's different from everyone else. But I think that he also is really good at picking people on his team to help create new songs, new different albums. And so that's why I was, I think that
I can see that.
Because the other thing too is that he's always been that way. He's always been the guy that wants to collaborate. So it doesn't surprise me that all these collaborations have happened the way they have.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. And I think, if anything, the most interesting thing is that, like, because we are the consumer, we don't hear about all that stuff until later, so that's why we're able to debate about it now. But like in the inner circles, they know what the fuck is going on. We can only speculate and try and read the credits and see who's getting points on what songs, to try and figure it out. But they do a really good job at making you believe that Kanye is solely the one making it. And, it sells. Either way, it's working. But anyway, so now we got to move on to the very last song. This is Marcus's selection. Marcus, what did you choose?
So I chose All Right by Kendrick Lamar, from his 2015 album To Pimp a Butterfly. Song was produced by Pharrell, who is a legendary producer, half of the Neptunes, This was also at the time when Pharrell's always been an exclusive producer, but when he really had his hands on Kendrick on this song. He produced it. He wanted a certain look, like, and him and Kendrick really collabed and made this. And then you got to also remember, it was like, this was kind of like Black Lives Matter anthem. This was the movement. This was the song. And I'm trying to think. No. The visual, I want to say this is one of the songs where the song came out and it did okay, but when the visual came out for this video, it was amazing. Like it made you watch videos again. And
Kendrick does a really good job at that.
Kendrick is as good as a visual artist as he is a rap art and lyrical artist. So, the song is All Right. The anthem is We Gonna Be All Right. Do you hear me? Do you feel me? Nigga, we gonna be all right. And this was at a time, TikTok was still around. People were still doing videos. White people got a pass on this song. They, it was...
Because it was used for a lot of other purposes. To give them a little bit of grace.
Yeah.
This song, I hear it like on commercials, even now. It's
kind of one.
If you go out, you can hear it here and there. So
this was the one where if you're at the live concert and you see a white person standing next to you just yelling it out, you're just like, you know what?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
it's
be all right.
fully understand.
You might be
big.
all right.
We're gonna
Yeah.
be all right. Save 25% or more. TJ Maxx this week. Like, you know, you're like, all right.
Yeah.
I
Eventually they're
even
gonna
think they
take our
made
shit,
this
man.
into a kids bop too.
No.
Yeah, I think this was a kids bop. You know,
I can't. I don't doubt it because it's not like he cusses a lot. Like Kendrick is not the type that you have to do like bleep, 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 bleep. And then it had a good message too.
It did have a good message. That's why white people was like, nigga, we're gonna be all right.
We're gonna be all right.
We're gonna be all right.
The kids bop version, brother, we're gonna be all right.
For real.
So and that's why it's a 9. That's also why. So when we started this topic and we said 9, 9 hip hops, 9 rap songs that was a banger. DJ, I'm thinking of the club. Nobody was dancing to this.
Okay.
And DJs had to be creative. Like you heard the intro, you heard the bars, and then they mixed it. It was not a slam record where you was like, oh,
Yeah, like nobody's twerking to this song necessarily.
Yeah. It wasn't no Glorilla song.
Like,
it didn't have no Glorilla feel to it where like all the bitches was coming out, like F1. Yeah, it didn't have that at all. It didn't.
Well, then what would you categorize this? There we go.
I had to do it. So
I was like, he goes sneaking in there.
The new year has started officially.
The Glorilla count. So yeah, it's not a Glorilla.
It does.
Yeah.
But as I was saying, Marcus, what would you categorize this song as then?
Pop.
Really?
I would, because so it's either pop or top 40, but that's kind of considered pop too because this wasn't on urban radio. It was on urban radio, but it wasn't a power. It was a mid. Now it was, and if it was a power, it was only there because of Kendrick, and it wasn't in the mix show. It didn't work its way up. It was introduced. It was a cool song, but it wasn't like the Drive at 5, #1, Kendrick Lamar. All right, that wasn't happening.
Yeah.
So it was more of that's why, and it was a conscious song too. Like I said,
I was gonna say I'm actually surprised that you put it as pop because it is a black conscious. I feel like that's what his goal was. Even though other people could take it and run with it, I feel like he was trying to be black conscious with it. But I think that I kind of like that you still consider this pop because a lot of times, because if it is a black artist or a rapper, they immediately put it in the rap hip hop category. So I like that your take of it is more like that it's pop, it's different, and it is different. I mean, and he did have, I loved it. And like you said, like the visual is really dope. It's moving.
It's one of the top 10 visuals.
Yeah.
And especially for the time when it came out. Like I said, this was before Black Lives Matter was what it was. This is when people were still trying to figure out what the whole BLM movement was.
Mm-hmm.
So you needed something and someone to represent how you felt, but still be invited to the cookout. And Kendrick executed that.
Right.
Yeah. But he definitely brought the bars, and I look over at the lyrics, and I feel like Kendrick always, even if you think that you're listening to like a lighthearted song, he always has something in there that's like, if you really listen to it, or if you really know what he's saying, you're like, damn, this is a little bit deeper than right? Always. So like I'm looking at it right now, and he says, when I wake up, I recognize you're looking at me for the pay cut, but homicide be looking at you from the face down. What Mac 11 even boom with the bass down, scheming, and let me tell you about my life. Painkillers only put me in the twilight. And, it just keeps going on and on. And like, we could go on forever because Kendrick's verses be long as hell because he has a lot to say.
Right.
But yeah, like, you think that you're listening to it, you might think like, we gonna be all right. But it's like, no, like, listen to the lyrics. Like, he's going through fucking hell. Yeah.
Exactly. It showed that we fucked up out here and we can still be all right, but we still fucked up out here.
Yeah. Exactly. So yeah, I really like that choice. I think that we all had some really, really good picks. So, that was really fun. All right. But now we have to change gears a little bit and we have to finish that rhyme with Mr. Eric G. So basically, me and Marcus are going to team up together. We're going to try and finish the rhyme that Eric's gonna kick to us, hopefully we can bring it home. Because I feel like lately Eric has been beating us at this game. So Eric, by all means, start it off.
I don't even know where to start this one. All right, so I'm gonna take y'all back. We're going back to last week when we recorded the new rappers episode. So this is from a new guy. It was one of the most popular songs of last year, and that's pretty much all the hints I'm gonna give y'all.
Okay. Okay.
All right, let's see. All right. Who won't smoke with me? I'm trying to fuck a nigga lungs up. They be like, Nardo, put them damn guns up. Fuck that. Say, big brother, bring them guns out. When it's smoke, we get to spinning while the sun out. I ain't never lacking. I pop gas with my gun out. Screaming out what's happening. Get to bust until it run out.
I don't know the lyrics, but I know this. Who won't smoke with us? I fucking love that song.
What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that?
Exactly. That was the best part.
Yeah.
That's all I fucking know.
Wasn't that Nardo?
Yeah, Nardo Wick.
Nardo Wick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember we were talking about weird rapper names? Such a weird rapper name. I would not remember that.
It was weird because that nigga
That was
said,
one of the weird rapper names.
That nigga said, that's exactly, you put it up there. I couldn't even get it out fast enough. I think my Draco might be gay. And then nigga, why? Because it be blowing niggas. And niggas like, what? Like that was the most suspect bar. I think, man, I remember that.
That bar was crazy, dog.
Because niggas was in the club, boom, 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 boom. Fuck is that? Yeah, and then you like, and he's like, I think my Draco gay. And he's like, nigga, yo, Draco gay. Like, yo, like the whole mood is just like, and he's like, yeah, because it be blowing niggas. And I'll be like, that might be true, but
I can't say that out
I'm
loud.
never gonna pull out my Draco and be like, yeah, nigga, it be blowing you niggas.
That's one of those songs where you see a regular ass nigga chilling, and then you just see like the real them just like slowly but surely come out, and you're like, oh.
You're one of them niggas.
Oh.
So this is gonna sound crazy. Like when you be out and niggas yell out the words to songs, and it be the suspect part of the songs, but they yell it a little too hard, which makes them now suspect. Because
you know what like, me up about this whole debate though is that men are more afraid of the nigga who is talking about his Draco might be blowing niggas because of the gay reference, rather than that this nigga might really be a hood nigga killer gangster. That is probably the funniest part of this to me.
Well,
they're more afraid of the gay nigga.
The only hood nigga I'm scared of is Pooh Shiesty. Because that nigga really kept it fire in the club and shot
I did not with y'all. Y'all really think Pooh Shiesty's gay?
No.
Oh. What?
No one said.
Oh, okay. You're saying that's the only street nigga you're afraid of.
Yes, because he.
Okay. Let's say what?
Oh.
I was about to say we just made a hard left turn.
I am so sorry. I'm so glad I cleared that up because I was about to walk away from this like, what do they know that I don't know? Sorry.
Yo, man.
I thought you was about to tell me some news for a second.
Man, these shit. That's my bad. Okay. So you're saying that the only nigga that you're really afraid of, huh?
Yeah, Pooh Shiesty's not gay. I don't think he is at least.
Look, I think
now you got me asking
some rumors about certain people.
We're asking the wrong questions.
Leave it alone.
We're asking the wrong questions. Here's some things about
Pooh Shiesty, but that's that blog shit. We're not in that game. I'm gonna leave that alone. But anyway, Marcus, what were you saying? You're saying that he's the only street nigga that you're. Yeah, because you're right. He did go. He is actually in jail for that. So you're right. Yeah. Probably the only nigga you should be afraid of.
Yeah, finesse 2 times. Nah, not so much.
Yeah.
I also just think it's wild that Nardo Wick thinks that he can pump gas with his gun out just like safely and securely. Like, I don't think that's a smart thing to do, my nigga. But all right, you got it, bro.
Right. I guess he's worried about niggas rolling up on him at the gas station. I mean, that is a real thing However,
While you pumping the
as
gas?
Eric was saying, I don't think that's safe either.
I mean, if a nigga shoot you at the gas pump,
what you gonna do?
Like, and then you have to shoot back. Maybe you should have got gas somewhere else.
You don't be knowing these things.
But
Hindsight
That
is
look like a
20/20.
real that sound like a real Grand Theft Auto video game scenario right there.
And then y'all be, you know, it always happens at hood gas stations too. Shootouts never happen at Quick Trip. Nick, I'm gonna tell you this:
No,
if
they
you want to
don't.
know, if this is a real shit, if you want to know if the gas station is safe, if they got free air and it works, you ain't getting shot there.
Okay.
If you got to put your ID at the cashier's office so they can turn on the air pump, chances are you might get put a clipping. You know, yeah, might not be.
Message.
And then also, like, you don't have time to waste. You can't be putting quarters in if that's what you're worried about. So you're right. You're so right.
You gotta
need a
put
quick
each quarter in
getaway.
and then look over your shoulder after you put each quarter in.
Right. Right. You ain't got
No,
time.
ain't nobody got time for all that shit.
Yeah.
I cannot with us. But okay, so we tried our best at finishing that rhyme. I think that we had way more fun debating about the actual artists themselves. But anyway, neither here nor there. I hope that you guys really like this episode. This is probably one of our favorite episodes. If you guys have any suggestions, remember to like, comment, and subscribe, you know, in the down below for us in the comment section. And as always, every Monday we'll be here with a new episode for you. So be sure to check us out and to check out our Instagram page. It is Bar Exam on Instagram. I think it's Bar Exam Pod on Instagram. So be sure to check it out. And we will see you guys on the next episode of Bar Exam. Bye, guys.